I perceive it to be, is that she wants to make a video. This would be like the third or fourth time, maybe the fifth time. But it's never good enough to put up on YouTube. In case you can't hear what I'm saying. She doesn't like it, so I tell her to go up there, get it, you know. She'll screw around with it a little bit and I go, oh, it won't take, it just won't take. Now she wants to make a video about the fact that I drink too much. Like nobody's ever heard that before. I mean, geez, you fall down a few...
I wanted to...
You fall down a few times and people right away think, by God, this guy's a falling down drunk. Why didn't he quit drinking so much? And then you look around and you go, who are you to tell me?
Well, I want to tell what happened from my point of view. 4 o'clock in the morning, my phone rang, and this was on the phone, and I just happened to have gotten up to go to the bathroom, so that's why I was right by the phone.
That's your story.
And I answered the phone, and he said, I want you to come down here right now. 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going like, 4 o'clock in the morning, why are you calling me? Well, I decided to get really drunk. Really drunk? Not just sipping. He said, like I usually do. And so he
I think I said shit-faced or just completely
no, you
wasted.
said really drunk.
Well, that's good.
And then you said, I said, well, who are you drinking with? I finally got out of it. One of his buddies, former drinking buddies, who he could get really drunk with.
Yeah, and, as long as I'm really paying for all the booze. Now you have to realize there's certain people that will not pay, but if you say, listen, I'm not feeling, you want to come down and get some free drinks? That's the guy that comes down and gets the free drinks.
Well, then he
I was hoping we get into a fight, we could punch each other out or something like that, you know.
Then he said at 4 in the morning, I think I'm dying. Get down here right now.
Will you
so
stop?
What would you do?
Now,
I mean,
now wait a minute.
Well, that's just how. Oh,
well, now wait a second
you.
Now.
So I thought
breathing hurts on my chest. It's not from my heart.
I don't think he's dying, but I guess
wait a minute. I want to tell you.
Go down there.
New Year's Eve. What do? You think you're dying, and you call 911, right? Screw everybody's New Year's up. I just said I'd screw your morning up.
Well, I didn't think I was dying, but I thought my eyes wouldn't focus, so it seemed pretty alarming. And
you get drunk and your eyes don't focus too well at all.
Of course, after I had to go to the emergency, I said to myself, what did I do to contribute to this?
I have no idea.
Well, one thing I did is I worked through the night, and at my age, that's stupid, I decided. It was not appropriate to my age. And then the other thing I did was I was still on sugar and was taking, which I should have been off a long time ago, but I hadn't got off from it. So I thought, well, the time has come. No more sugar for me. No more desserts, no more Snickers, no more anything extra with sugar in it. That's gone. I can't be calling 911 anymore. Well,
wait a second now. Let me interrupt you just a second. How many years have I known you? Nothing way too long, right? 6, 7, 8?
Yeah.
Have you ever called 911
No.
that you've known me?
No, I've made...
Ever?
No, I haven't called for you or for me.
Right.
That was a first for many, well, I haven't been to the hospital since my last kid was born.
Well, there's a good 37 years ago, right? 40?
Yes, and so I thought to myself, what did I do wrong? And there was plenty that I had done wrong, that I was still doing wrong. That I hadn't been able to quit my addiction to Snickers, stuff like that. And I knew I was starting to run sugar. I was getting close to diabetes, so think the combination of overworking and sugar addiction did a number on me. I had worked too much all night long, and all of a sudden my eyes wouldn't focus. I was going around and around. I was extremely nauseous.
You didn't take any
But it was what my eyes were doing that scared me so much.
you didn't take any LSD or
Because I
anything,
thought,
did you?
good Lord,
LSD
my eyes
will do that
won't
to you.
focus, and they're going around and around. This is serious. I didn't even dare get up. I just called 911. Well, anyway,
You should have called
this
me.
is
I'd come up and
2
slap you
months.
across the face a few times.
2 months later, and he's calling me in the middle of the night. I think I'm dying. Get down here right now. Of course, he's very dramatic because he knows he can't get me down here any other way. He's got to really
Will you
present
stop doing that.
a case. And so I came down at 4 in the
ribs
morning.
here, folks, and that
I
just
goes
breathing
in.
hurts,
I said,
you know?
"Well, what's the matter?" I could
Cracked
see that,
rib.
and he's holding his side.
Crack
So
rib.
I had quite a hard time getting out of him just exactly what had happened.
Well, yeah, you fall on the chair hits you right here, you know.
It seemed that he didn't just walk into his bedroom like he usually did. He staggered in there and lost his balance, that's what I take it, and fell and hit his ribs right on the arm of this wooden chair that's in his bedroom. And I mean, no, I just wondered if somebody, he was in a very dire crisis, but apparently he was just in terrible pain.
I just wanted to irritate somebody other than myself.
Yeah, well,
And
I
you're
can't.
my
He
first
called
one,
me.
right.
Why would he call me at 4 in the morning?
Why would you come down here every morning and go, well, you've done it again, shame on you, done it again. Listen, I just did this in January. The next stop, no, I'm serious, the next one, I'm gonna step in front of the trolley when it's moving.
What he would say.
Jumping right in that
I
trolley.
think I'm dying.
Wham, there.
Dying.
Then I'll be thinking about dying.
So,
I
you
will
know,
be dying.
You're not going to ignore such a call for help, even if it's false, even if it's wolf. You're going to go down there and see if the man really is dying. So I satisfied myself that he was in terrible pain from possibly cracking these ribs,
I'm still in.
which would cause anyone to, really.
Just breathing hurts, but laughing. Oh, jeez. I can always, I'm pretty, I don't know what they do for this, but I think they just tell you don't laugh a lot, Try not to hiccup, and for God's sake, don't sneeze or cough. That'll.
Well, fortunately, I had been reading this book, and Paul of the Bible was saying in the book, it was a book about before and after Jesus' time. And Paul was saying, love your neighbor as yourself. And I thought,
Well, obviously, I
don't think I love my neighbors as myself.
I'm not too keen on my neighbor because I don't really love myself. So that leaves you shit out of luck on that one, doesn't
So
it?
I thought, he's my neighbor too, and so he's calling. He is in distraught. So it's a good thing that I had just read.
I am in physical
I had
pain.
just read what Paul said, love your neighbor as yourself. Because I realized that I wasn't quite up to that standard. And here's Paul out there preaching to everyone. If you read the story of Paul of the Bible.
Yeah, I've read it. You know what his
Yes.
first name was before he got... It was Saul.
Saul. Well, Paul... he
by the
says
way,
in there that he
was not
had many times gone
He was not one of the
hungry.
disciples, so get over it,
He was
all right?
hungry, and
Not one of the 12.
but he interpreted Christ to the people.
Well, just make
and
it
was
up. That's
accepted.
wonderful. I think that's great.
Was accepted, and I thought to myself, well, he's the one that took the gospel of Christ to everybody. He said that this was a
No,
message
he
for
didn't.
everyone.
Peter did.
No, he didn't. You forgot. Paul was taking it to the Thessalonians, the Corinthians, letters to, and he said that God accepted all people as his, and which the Jews hadn't exactly done, and a lot of them didn't accept this message from Paul at all. They didn't accept the fact that, and to this day, that Christ was, he came for everybody, according to, Paul interpreted this as meaning he came for everybody.
Okay, now, is this going to be a religious thing? I want to.
Well, otherwise, I don't know if I could have behaved as well as I did.
I want to fill you in on a few little details there that you may not understand about.
Well, he was raised in the Lutheran Church. He heard an awful lot of preaching
every friggin' day, man. And let me tell you something else. Jesus was a Jew. Actually, he was an Essene. If anybody knows, anybody cares.
Essene, yeah. How do you say that? Essene?
Essene.
He was an Essene, yes, an Essene.
So
they believed in. They didn't get married, right? Well, go ahead. Go ahead and tell.
I'm trying to let the pain go down a little bit. See, it's not a hard pain. It's just where you crack your ribs. It's like, I don't understand why people play football. They gotta be sadistic and masochistic, both at the same time. I'm gonna kill him, but I hope he hurts me too, if we go along. So let me get on with this religious story here about Paul and yes, it's a very interesting story. I've been studying mythology my whole life. And the reason I'm saying this is because it takes in so much. And we were just watching the story on ID about this minister down in the boondocks or whatever, right? And he is what is commonly known as a psychopathic liar and a delusionist. But these are the best kind that you can find, because she thought he was, a really attractive guy. He wasn't, a mustache, And I don't judge guys by mustaches, but the thing that I'm looking for is that she is now getting religion, which I got 59 years ago. So.
I've always had religion. I live by religion.
Well, you live by your own code.
That's
not religion, okay?
Well, I don't see why it isn't.
Well, I still got this show coming on Sunday night,
In fact, I believed in Jesus. I more or less became a Christian, which I felt, at the age of 20, in order to deal with some very difficult problems, because I felt Jesus
were family
had a
problems,
better.
right?
He had the way, because I felt that Mormonism, Joseph Smith had kind of gone off on his own tangents, got polygamy, had the book, created the Book of Mormon, and I just I studied the New Testament, which I studied it in Mormon seminary, and I was very impressed with it. Well,
wait a minute. Here's another thing you said the other day that you cut out. Mormon seminary? How old were you, and where was it compared to
when I was 13
lived?
and 14, I studied each one, the Old Testament and New Testament, a year.
See, I went to church
a year.
6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to a Mormon seminary? I never heard of that.
An hour a day I studied the Old Testament and the New Testament.
I was there all friggin' day for 6
those
days
2
a week.
years. It was very concentrated. We concentrated just on the Bible, just on the New Testament 1 year, and then on the Old Testament the other.
You got a very, very narrow view.
Well, I doubt if you got very much more.
Well, you can doubt.
And then the third year we were going to have to study Mormon history. And by that time I felt that the Mormons couldn't be trusted to write their own history accurately. I mean, they were going to present a case for Mormonism, of course. And I just thought, I can't, I want to be able to question them and say,
do you want to do 2 of these?
What about this? I don't know. What about this what is, Jesus versus...
Let's do two of these.
Hmm.
Just get up, push it, and push it back on again, okay?
Right now?
Yeah, because
Is it ready? Is it 15 minutes?
it's 13 and a half.
Well, just a couple of more minutes. See,
No,
what we're going
come on,
to do,
see,
what
when
we're
you
going
get-
to
when
do is we're going to push, we're going to do it ourselves. We're going to cut this off, and then we'll start it again if we've still got some more to say. And I think
I think
we
you
do.
got some more to say.
I do have, and he has too.
We've been trying to figure this
Sure.
out now because in her infinite wisdom.
Well, see, he has my religion to thank for me coming down the middle of the night to
That's
see
true.
if he was.
Now go up, push that button.
I mean, I've just
we'll
been
see if
reading
this
Paul, and
works,
Paul
okay?
said, love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah, but Paul didn't say that. Jesus said that.
Well, yeah, Jesus said it.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
he was
Jesus.
accredited, but Jesus never.
Well, I mean, he was.
Now don't turn it off. Push the little start and stop button.